My friend, stop doing everything the way you think they want it, because the truth is something else, and I'm going to tell you now. There are things that women secretly desire men to do, but they'll never admit it. And you know what's funnier? They're rooting for you, hoping you'll figure it out. But almost nobody notices. Almost nobody understands what really moves them. And that's exactly why you need to pay attention. Because when you discover these secrets, you'll realize that small actions, simple gestures, can completely transform the way they see you, desire you, and connect with you. Have you ever thought about being that man she seeks out, who makes her feel unique, desired, safe, and provoked all at once, without even realizing she's being led by you? That's exactly what you're going to learn. Now, tell me, have you ever noticed how sometimes a woman seems distant, but at the same time gives subtle signs of interest? Or how certain men can move her without even saying anything, just by the way they act, look, or touch? That's exactly what we're going to explore. And if you stick with me until the end, you'll discover 11 things you can do today to become irresistible, mysterious, and sexy to any woman, even those who say they're not interested. And get this, each topic I'm going to reveal comes with psychological tricks that work in real life, and you'll realize it's not about strength or effort, but about perception, timing, and attitude. And you know what's best? The next topic will show you the first thing they secretly desire, that few men can perceive, and that can completely change the way you connect and awaken desire in them. Real attention and genuine interest. My dear friend, pay attention because this is one of those things men usually get completely wrong. Women secretly desire real attention, the kind that isn't just looking at us or listening to what we say out of obligation, but that really shows you're there, present, interested in what she thinks, feels, and desires. And look, I'm not talking about cliché questions like, "How was your day?" Anyone can do that. It doesn't impress. I'm talking about that man who can notice details that nobody else notices, who remembers small things she said, who cares about her feelings without seeming forced or needy. Have you ever thought about how good it feels when someone really listens to you, who doesn't interrupt, who reacts naturally and gets involved in the conversation without wanting to change the focus to himself? That's exactly what messes with any woman's head and leaves her curiosity sky high, wanting more of your presence. And tell me, have you ever noticed how some women test men's attention? A subtle smile, a different look, a light touch on the hand, just to see if you notice. That's where you show you're truly paying attention, that you're not just another guy who's killing time. Now think with me. If you can do this without overdoing it, without seeming desperate or needy, you automatically become someone memorable, someone she wants to have around, listen to, and, why not, feel more and more desire to be with. But get this, because real attention isn't just listening. It's creating moments of connection and making her feel unique. And that's just the beginning of everything I'm going to tell you. Want to know what comes next? In the next topic, I'm going to reveal how small demonstrations of security and confidence leave a woman completely intrigued, and how you can use this to your advantage in a natural and sexy way, making her want to get closer to you without realizing she's being led by your charm and presence. And stay tuned, because every detail you apply from these 11 secrets will increase attraction in an almost hypnotic way, leaving you in control of the game without having to force anything. Security and confidence. My friend, now pay attention, because this is one of those things women secretly desire in silence, but rarely admit. Genuine security and confidence. You know that man who doesn't need to prove anything to anyone, who walks with firmness, who looks in the eyes and conveys that he knows exactly what he wants and who he is? That's exactly the type that awakens instant curiosity and desire. And look, I'm not talking about arrogance or being the bossy one. That's completely different. I'm talking about that calm and irresistible energy that makes any woman think, wow, he knows what he's doing and I want to find out more. Have you noticed how some women test a man's confidence without realizing it? A provocative smile, a funny comment, or even a subtle joke just to see how you react. That's when security shows up and you stand out from the crowd. And tell me, have you ever felt how sexy it is when a man can handle provocations in a light, funny, and at the same time firm way, without losing his composure? That's exactly what messes with their heads, and increases desire without even needing to say anything explicit. Now think with me. If you combine this confidence with the genuine attention I taught you in the previous topic, you create a magnetic effect, almost hypnotic, because she realizes you're different, Someone who doesn't let himself be swayed by any situation and who, at the same time, can create connection naturally. And get this, because security isn't just being firm, it's also conveying confidence even in unexpected moments, being that man she feels she can relax and have fun around, but who at the same time awakens fascination and respect. Want to know the next secret? In the next topic, I'm going to show you how to awaken desire with subtlety and small provocations, making her want to be near you more and more, without realizing she's being guided by your charm and presence. Every detail you apply from these 11 secrets will make her feel attracted, intrigued, and connected, creating a natural cycle of desire and curiosity that increases with each gesture of yours, leaving you in control of the situation in an irresistible, sexy, and almost hypnotic way without having to force anything. Surprises and small adventures. My dear friend, now listen carefully, because this is one of the most underestimated weaknesses by women, and that can instantly put you at the top of the attraction game. They secretly desire surprises and small adventures, those unexpected moments that make the heart race and the mind wander. And look, I'm not talking about expensive gifts or elaborate dinners, nothing like that. I'm talking about simple gestures, yet strategic, that break the routine, awaken curiosity, and make her feel special, unique, as if she were living something that's only hers. Have you noticed how an unexpected smile, a light touch on the shoulder, or a fun and provocative message can mess with her imagination? That's exactly this feeling of novelty that creates connection and increases desire. And tell me, have you noticed how women love when a man can be unpredictable in a sexy and natural way, without exaggeration, just with subtle gestures that awaken attention and interest? That's what leaves them intrigued and wanting more. Now think with me. If you combine these surprises with genuine attention and confidence, which we already learned in previous topics, you create an almost hypnotic effect, because she starts to associate your presence with emotions, laughter, excitement, and even that butterfly feeling that makes the heart beat faster. And get this, because the beauty of this is in the subtlety. Small details, small daily adventures, small provocative gestures that make her wonder, what's he going to do now? Why is he so different? It's exactly this curiosity that keeps interest alive and brings her closer to you more and more, without you having to force anything. Want to know the next secret? In the next topic, I'm going to show you how the right touch, subtle and strategic, can create instant desire, making her feel physical and emotional connection at the same time, and get hooked on your presence without realizing how this happens. Every detail of these 11 secrets works in sync, creating an irresistible cycle of attraction, provocation, and desire that leaves you in control of the situation, making her want to be near you, interact, and connect in a natural, sexy, and almost hypnotic way. Humor and provocative teasing. My friend, pay attention, because this is one of those things women secretly desire, but rarely admit. They love men who know how to play, provoke, and make them laugh in a sexy, light, and intelligent way. And look, I'm not talking about silly jokes or unfunny faces. I'm talking about that ability to provoke curiosity and fun at the same time, to create a subtle tension that leaves any woman intrigued, wanting more of your attention and time. Have you noticed how women respond differently to a man who can balance charm, provocation, and humor? An ironic smile, a light joke that only the two of you understand, or even an intimate provocation can make her feel special and connected in a way that direct words could never achieve. And tell me, have you ever felt how irresistible it is when she starts to laugh, but at the same time looks at you with those eyes that say, "Wow, he gets me and challenges me"? That's exactly the effect that increases attraction and keeps curiosity alive. Now think with me. If you combine this ability to play and provoke with genuine attention, confidence, and small adventures, you become practically magnetic, someone she desires to have around, listen to, and even wants to explore every gesture of yours. And get this, because the secret is in the dosage and timing, in making each provocation natural, unexpected, and exciting, without exaggeration or need to prove something, just creating emotional connection and desire simultaneously. Want to know the next secret? In the next topic, I'm going to reveal how small physical gestures, subtle and strategic, can awaken instant attraction and intense desire, making her want to get closer to you, touch, feel, and connect in a more intimate and intense way. Every detail of these 11 secrets works together, creating a natural cycle of provocation, desire, and connection that keeps her attention totally focused on you, leaving you in control of the seduction game in a sexy, light, and almost hypnotic way, without having to force anything. Appreciation and subtle recognition. My friend, now pay attention, because this is one of those things women deeply desire, but rarely admit. They want to feel valued and recognized, and not in an obvious or exaggerated way, but in a subtle, intelligent, and sexy way. I'm talking about that attention that makes her realize you really notice who she is, that you perceive her details, her essence, and that you know how to recognize her efforts without having to make drama or exaggerated compliments. Have you noticed how women melt for small gestures of recognition? A comment that shows you notice something special about her, a sincere compliment about an attitude she had, or even a simple gesture that shows you remember something she said. All this makes a huge difference and creates an almost instant emotional connection. And tell me, have you noticed how different it is when a man shows real interest that goes beyond the superficial, and that makes you feel special and unique? That's exactly what messes with any woman's mind and heart, and increases the desire to be near you, to share more of her own life, and to connect in a deeper way. Now think with me. If you combine this subtle appreciation with genuine attention, confidence, small adventures, and provocative humor, you become practically irresistible, someone she wants to have around, listen to, and explore every gesture, every word, every look of yours. And get this, because the secret of appreciation isn't in talking too much, but in perceiving, recognizing, and acting in a way that she feels her importance without realizing she's being led. Want to know the next secret? In the next topic, I'm going to show you how to awaken desire with small physical provocations and subtle strategic touches, creating connection and attraction in an almost hypnotic way, making her want to be closer and closer to you, without you having to force anything. Every detail of these 11 secrets works in harmony, creating a natural cycle of attraction, curiosity, desire, and emotional connection, leaving you in control of the seduction game in a light, sexy, and completely irresistible way, making her want to be near you, connect, interact, and surrender emotionally, gradually, naturally, and instinctively, just following the perception and energy you transmit. Mystery and challenge. My dear friend, pay attention, because this is one of those weaknesses women secretly desire, but will never admit out loud. They love mysterious men who represent a challenge, someone who doesn't reveal everything right away, who maintains an aura of intrigue and curiosity, leaving her wanting to discover more with each interaction. And look, I'm not talking about being cold or inaccessible. That's completely different. I'm talking about creating that perfect balance between closeness and mystery, showing interest without giving yourself completely, maintaining that sexy and provocative air that makes any woman wonder, what is he thinking? What's he going to do now? Have you noticed how some women get completely intrigued with men who don't show themselves as predictable? A gesture, a word, even a strategic silence can be irresistible when you master this art of keeping the mystery. And tell me, have you ever felt how exciting it is when someone can provoke you mentally, challenge you subtly, and still make you feel special? That's exactly what creates intense desire and curiosity, leaving her more and more tuned into you, trying to decipher every sign, every attitude of yours. Now think with me. If you combine this mystery with genuine attention, confidence, provocative humor, small adventures, and subtle appreciation, you become practically magnetic, someone she wants to have around, explore, feel, and discover every detail. And get this, because the secret of mystery isn't in hiding who you are, but in awakening curiosity and desire effortlessly, in making her want to get closer, interact, and connect emotionally naturally. Want to know the next secret? In the next topic, I'm going to show you how small demonstrations of vulnerability and sincerity can create deep emotional connection, making her feel close to you intimately, desiring your presence and attention more and more. Every detail of these 11 secrets works like pieces of a seduction puzzle. Attention, confidence, adventure, humor, appreciation, and mystery combine to create a continuous cycle of attraction, curiosity, and desire, leaving you in control of the situation naturally, sexy, and irresistibly. while she gets closer and closer without even realizing how she's being led by your charm and energy. Active listening and real interest. My friend, now pay attention because this is one of those weaknesses women secretly desire, but rarely admit. They want men who really listen to them, who show genuine interest in what they're saying, not just hearing for the sake of hearing or faking attention. And look, I'm not talking about an automatic yes, I got it. I'm talking about active listening, which involves observing, reacting, asking intelligent questions, subtle and provocative comments that show you're absorbing every detail of what she says, and that you truly care about what she feels, thinks, and desires. Have you noticed how some women test this in almost imperceptible ways? A different look, a strategic pause in the conversation, a subtle provocation, just to see if you're really paying attention. And tell me, have you ever felt how sexy it is when a man can not only hear, but feel what you're saying, perceive your emotions, and react naturally and provocatively without seeming forced? That's exactly what messes with her mind, creates connection, and increases desire without you having to make any physical effort. Now think with me. If you combine this active listening with genuine attention, confidence, small adventures, provocative humor, subtle appreciation, and that touch of mystery we already talked about, you become practically irresistible. Someone she wants to have around, share secrets with, open up emotionally, and of course feel desire. And get this, because the secret isn't just in hearing words, but in capturing signals, emotions, and nuances, using this naturally to create connection, curiosity, and continuous attraction. Want to know the next secret? In the next topic, I'm going to show you how strategic and subtle touch can trigger immediate desire, connecting emotion and physical in a way she can barely resist, making each interaction of yours memorable, intense, and sexy. Every detail of these 11 secrets works together, creating a cycle of attention, confidence, provocation, desire, and curiosity that leaves you in control of the situation, making your presence magnetic, your energy irresistible, and making her want to be closer and closer, interact and connect intimately and provocatively, without realizing she's being led by your charm and sharp perception. Surprises and small gestures of affection. My friend, now pay attention because this is one of those weaknesses women secretly desire, but rarely admit. They love surprises and small gestures of affection, those unexpected details that show you thought of her, that you care, and that you have a touch of sensitivity and attention that few men master. And look, I'm not talking about expensive gifts or exaggerated declarations. I'm talking about subtle, strategic, and sexy gestures that touch the heart and provoke curiosity. Have you noticed how a simple note, a provocative and fun message, or even a deep look at the right moment can make her feel something special? That's exactly what makes a difference, because it creates a feeling of emotional connection and at the same time awakens intense attraction. And tell me, have you noticed how women respond differently when they realize a man really thought of them, who did something unexpected to surprise, without seeming forced or exaggerated? This feeling of attention and subtle care increases desire and curiosity in an almost hypnotic way. Now think with me. If you combine these small gestures of affection with genuine attention, confidence, provocative humor, mystery, active listening, and subtle appreciation, you become practically magnetic, someone she wants to have around, explore and surrender emotionally gradually. And get this, because the secret isn't just in the gesture itself, but in how it's done, with naturalness, perfect timing, and that sexy touch that makes her wonder, how does he always understand me so well? Want to know the next secret? In the next topic, I'm going to show you how to awaken desire with intellectual and mental provocations, messing with her curiosity, making each conversation intriguing, fun, and irresistible, increasing attraction and connection continuously. Mental provocations and intellectual challenge. Pay attention, because this is one of those weaknesses women secretly desire, but rarely admit. They love men who challenge them mentally, who make their minds work, who awaken curiosity and desire at the same time, in a sexy and engaging way. And look, I'm not talking about playing the know-it-all or seeming too intellectual. I'm talking about creating small provocations, instigating questions, fun and provocative comments that make her think, laugh, and feel connected to you in a unique way. Have you noticed how some women get intrigued with men who can make a conversation flow in an intelligent, fun, and sensual way at the same time? An unexpected comment, a subtly provocative opinion, or even a light challenge, just to see how she reacts, can create irresistible tension and increase attraction, without you having to make any physical effort. And tell me, have you ever felt how exciting it is when someone messes with your mind, and at the same time awakens curiosity and desire? That's exactly what makes her want to keep talking to you, want more of your presence, explore every gesture, every word, every nuance of what you say. Now think with me. If you combine these mental provocations with genuine attention, confidence, small adventures, provocative humor, subtle appreciation, mystery and surprises, you become practically irresistible. Someone she wants to have around, listen to, explore and surrender emotionally gradually. And get this, because the secret is in the right dose of provocation, in creating tension and curiosity without forcing, just letting her want to get closer to you, interact, and connect more and more. Want to know the next secret? In the next topic, I'm going to show you how small strategic and subtle touches can trigger instant desire, making her feel physical and emotional connection at the same time, and get hooked on your presence without realizing how this happens. Sincere admiration. My friend, now listen carefully, because this is one of those weaknesses women secretly desire, but rarely admit. They want to be admired in a sincere and natural way, without exaggerated or forced compliments, but in a way that makes them feel unique, special, and desired. And look, I'm not talking about saying you're perfect all the time. Anyone says that, and it ends up sounding empty. I'm talking about that admiration that appears in details, that you convey with gestures, looks, and strategic words, that shows you noticed something special about her, something nobody else noticed, and that makes her feel an intense emotional connection with you. Have you noticed how small observations, a comment that highlights something she did, or a smile that shows you really noticed her presence, can mess with her self-esteem and desire? That's exactly what awakens attraction naturally and powerfully. And tell me, have you ever felt how sexy it is when someone looks at you, smiles, or comments on something that shows they really noticed you, that values who you really are? That's what creates a hypnotic effect, making her want to be near you, talk, interact, and connect emotionally, without realizing how she's being guided by your presence. Now think with me. If you combine this sincere admiration with genuine attention, confidence, provocation, humor, mystery, small adventures, surprises, active listening, and mental provocations, you become practically irresistible, someone she wants to have around and explore emotionally and physically. And get this, because the secret is in making her feel valued and recognized without exaggeration, conveying security, interest, and desire naturally and sexy, creating a subtle tension that leaves her intrigued and desirous. Want to know the next secret? In the next and final topic, I'm going to show you how to create deep emotional connection and intense desire simultaneously, making her want to be closer and closer to you, open up, surrender, and feel an almost irresistible attraction, naturally, sexy, and completely engaging. Every detail of these 11 secrets works like pieces of a seduction puzzle, and when combined, they create a continuous cycle of attraction, desire, and curiosity that puts you in control of the seduction game in a light, intimate, and almost hypnotic way. Emotional connection and desire. My friend, now pay attention, because we've arrived at the most powerful secret that women secretly desire, but never admit. They want to feel deep emotional connection while desire grows. And this is the key that transforms any casual relationship into something memorable and irresistible. And look, I'm not talking about long and dramatic conversations, but about creating moments where she feels understood, safe, and excited at the same time, as if you were that man who understands her world, her thoughts and desires, without needing too many words. Have you noticed how some women surrender emotionally faster with men who can balance attention, confidence, humor, provocation, and small strategic gestures, all at the same time? That's exactly what makes her want to be near you, listen to you, touch, feel, and connect on all levels. And tell me, have you ever felt how sexy it is when someone can mess with your mind, your heart, and your body at the same time, naturally and without rushing? That's exactly what creates intense attraction and almost hypnotic desire, leaving her intrigued and wanting more of your presence. Now think with me. If you combine all the genuine attention, security, small adventures, provocative humor, appreciation, mystery, surprises, active listening, mental provocations, and sincere admiration with this ability to create emotional connection, you become practically irresistible, someone she wants to have around, explore, feel, and open up completely. And get this, because the secret isn't just in gestures or words, but in the energy you transmit, in the way you make her feel safe, desired, and intrigued at the same time, creating a continuous cycle of attraction, desire, and curiosity. Every detail of these 11 secrets works in harmony, creating a magnetic effect that makes her want to be closer and closer to you, connect, interact, and surrender emotionally and physically, without even realizing how she's being led by your charm, perception, and sexy presence. Want to know the best part? When you master all these 11 secrets together, you become the type of man she desires, respects, and wants to explore effortlessly, and this opens doors to any type of connection, from the lightest flirting to the most intense intimacy, all naturally, engaging, and irresistibly. My friend, now that you know the 11 secrets that women secretly desire, but never admit, you realize that the magic isn't in strength, money, or perfect appearance. True attraction comes from genuine attention, confidence, provocative humor, mystery, small adventures, subtle appreciation, and emotional connection, all combined naturally and strategically. Each gesture, each word, each subtle touch you apply creates a continuous cycle of desire, curiosity, and connection, making her want to be near you, interact, open up, and surrender emotionally and physically. And look, it's not about manipulating or deceiving. It's about understanding female psychology, perceiving what really moves them, and using this to create intense and memorable experiences. When you apply all this, you become that different, intriguing, and irresistible man, someone any woman will feel attracted to, respect, and desire to explore. And remember, every detail matters, every gesture counts, every touch and provocation has the power to transform connection into something unique. Now tell me, are you going to sit there watching, or are you going to start applying these secrets today? If you really want to become the man any woman desires, subscribe to the channel now, turn on notifications so you don't miss any content, and leave in the comments which of these 11 secrets you're going to start using first. I want to know your experience, because practice is what transforms theory into real results. And don't forget, share this video with that friend who still hasn't realized how small actions can change everything with a woman. Remember, my friend, the attraction game is yours when you understand, observe, and act with intelligence, confidence, and sensuality. So don't waste time, because the more you apply these secrets, the more irresistible you become, and the closer you get to what you desire. Are you ready to master the game and make every interaction count? Then let's put everything into practice and leave women intrigued, curious, and desiring to be near you, exactly the way you know how to lead.